Someone is feeling particularly engaged today. Do you see him? He's right here in my face, desperately wanting Cheetos. Here he is. Oh, he's going to say hi. He's going to knock over. I barely get this laptop perched on some books. And this Yahoo knocks it over. Hi. Welcome to Bed Talk 18. Oh my gosh. How is it possible that we are on 18? How many days is this going to go? Hey, I want to give you some encouragement today. I just popped off a webinar, which is why my hair is done and I've got some makeup on because I was doing a webinar and I was talking about effective storytelling. And I wanted to give you some encouragement today when you think about storytelling, because I don't know how it works for you, but I know that it works for a lot of people, that when they think about storytelling, they think about it from this really great, big mindset of I've got to have like my whole story written from start to finish in order to be able to start sharing it. I have to have a story that looks a lot like Harry Potter or an Elizabeth Gilbert, Eat, Pray, Love. I've got to have a story that looks like insert your favorite author or series. And that's what you're stacking yourself up against when it comes to sharing a story. And I want to roll you back for a minute and talk a little bit about that is really, really not helpful. It's not a helpful mindset, and it's not even realistic, and it's not what we need or what we're naturally inclined to do. So think about this for a second. Storytelling, all it is, as defined, is the act of writing or telling stories. And you have been writing and or telling stories your whole life, since you were little bitty, since you were that like awkward little kid and you would run in and you would tell your mom some hilarious story about how you ate blue crayons, and your mom would be standing there horrified like, I can't believe you ate blue crayons, and you'd be yammering about why that made sense to you, and it actually didn't make sense, but you were telling a story. And you had no inhibition about that either, by the way, when you were 4 or 5. It wasn't until somebody came along and told you that you were doing it wrong that you then got weird about telling your stories. And so I want to encourage you today to think about storytelling from the aspect of this is something that you have done your whole life. You do it every day. You are constantly telling stories. You're telling your neighbor about how something went wrong in the backyard. Some kids did some weird stuff. You're talking to your coworkers about that meeting that was super boring. You're talking to your spouse about the day, and you're telling stories when you do it every single time. But the minute you think about storytelling for your business, or you're storytelling for your own personal satisfaction, or maybe you're doing a podcast, or maybe you're trying to write a book, all of a sudden your brain freezes and you're like, I don't know how to tell a story. I know nothing. And that's not true. You've been telling stories your whole time. I want to take some of the pressure off of storytelling and break it down for you like this. Storytelling is recounting everyday things that happen all the time and doing it again and again until the story gets really good. So part of great storytelling is that they get embellished and changed, and they go through the iterative process as we go along. Our stories get better the more we tell them. Now, we've talked a little bit about before that, like Grandpa's story that he's told 17,000 times and everybody knows, but you miss that story in the end, and maybe also continue to expand your repertoire of stories. But I want to encourage you today, if you're holding back on sharing your story, if you're thinking, I can't possibly share my story because A, I don't have one, B, I don't know what it is, C, who would want to listen? What else? What are some of the other common complaints? Max, he's trying to eat my books. Hey, I need you to listen and behave, please. We're trying to film a very important video that like 4 people are going to watch. So can you pull it together? Thank you. I digress. You're holding back for whatever reason and thinking that you have to have this perfect perfectly well crafted, perfectly done story in order to be able to start. And I'm telling you that that's not right. And I'm also telling you it's the everyday stories that are the ones that drive connection, the things that are universal, that awkward moment in your day, the humorous moment in your day, the sad moment in your day. Those are the stories that people want to hear, that people want to be encouraged by, and they're the ones that make you most relatable. The one about how you won that award that no one else is going to win, not such a relatable story. That story about how you're the best at whatever thing it is that you do, that's not the most relatable story. The story about how you fell flat on your face in front of the whole audience, in front of your entire team, those stories are relatable because we've all had that experience where we've done something and we're like, oh, dang, that didn't go well. That didn't go well. That's a relatable story. Don't make storytelling bigger than what it is or more complicated than what it is. Just get started. Get started with telling the stories and then work on how am I going to craft it? Who am I going to tell it to? Who does this apply to? How might I make it sound more interesting by including more details or more context? That's the kind of storytelling that I want you to do and you to think about. Not Harry Potter, not Eat, Pray, Love. I want you telling the everyday stories that drive connection, meaningful connection with the people that you most want to reach. Okay, I've waxed on long enough, and Max has gotten tired. Today, I am wearing my Dream House t-shirt. My Dream House t-shirt is from Grit into Grace, my personal organization, non-profit that I am on the board for. Grit into Grace is an organization that helps women who are at risk of or currently experiencing sexual exploitation. And the Dream House is the place that we built as a resource center for those women. And I couldn't be more proud. I give a shout out to Stephanie Jeffers and the work that she has done. She is the founder and she is incredible. And I'm so grateful to be her friend. So that's the shirt that I'm sporting today. And as always, I couldn't end this without a dogs eating Cheetos segment. So today, since we don't know what day it is, might as well use the pumpkin basket, right? So here we go. You've all been waiting for this. All right. Thank you so much for following along. Please keep following along. If you haven't signed up for my newsletter yet, please do that. And also, if you have found this inspirational, motivational, or just a little weird and funny, please share it with a friend. I will look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye.